Hello to everyone and welcome to another update on the market. For today, I decided to cover Euro versus US dollar. I will speak about the gold market, crude oil and Bitcoin versus US dollar. I will start with the Euro versus US dollar first. And we spoke about this currency pair yesterday in our previous forecast. And it seems like the downside scenario is working very well. The market is building lower highs and lower lows. You can see series of the lower highs and lower lows in the last couple of days. We had the breakout of the mini rising trend line, and most recently we broke this support area around 1.0840, and seems like this area is now acted this morning like resistance, which is another good sign for the further downside development. So if we speak about a downside scenario, which is most likely at this point, there is a chance for the retest of the 1.0740 or even area around 1.0670. There's also a possibility if there is a bigger selling to revisit this rising trend line around 1.0615, 620. In terms, if we speak about the upside scenario, I would like initially for the market to break aggressively to the upside and maybe rotate above the 1.0915, try to back and rotate above this rising trend line. So at this point, I would like to see a strong imbalance to the upside and follow through and hold above this area in order to potentially retest 1.1014. If we speak about gold market, this is something that I mentioned yesterday in my previous forecast. So there was a strong selling that at this point we had potential for the further downside movement. This was a big fake breakout with a multi-year resistance around 2070, 2075. Market went all the way to 2141. We spotted the strong sellers started to participate in the market, and then the very weak rallies after the selling, and this all was a good sign for the further downside, and some of our downside objectives for the downside scenario were reached around 2040, 2045 mark. We even broke the rising trend line, and already we see that still there were no bigger buyers at this point, so sellers are still in control. Seems like there is a chance for further lower prices in development. So we have the levels around 2007 mark. This is the area of the previous swing high, so 2007 mark, and if there is even bigger supply, we can see even maybe the whole downside move towards the 1965 or even 1930 mark. To the upside, scenario for the upside, I would like to see the market to regain this rising trend line and then hold above this area, and potentially, if we can see the breakout of this, to potentially retest 2120 or 2140 mark. But so far, the downside scenario is most likely. If we speak about the crude oil, this is something that I mentioned also in my previous forecast. So there was a fake breakout of this triangle at this point, and supply kicked in. So I mentioned yesterday there is a chance, the most likely scenario, we can revisit 72.61. We basically almost tested that level, and this will be the critical area to see how the market will react. If there is any significant reaction from buyers and the market can, rally towards the 77 mark and hold above, there is a chance to retest the 79.57. At this point, if the market can break, let's say 72.60 and hold below, there is a chance for the further downside movement towards the 70 mark and then 69.68 mark. And speaking of the Bitcoin versus US dollar, we spoke about the ascending triangle that we had in the background. So there was a breakout, nice follow through. But at this point, we can see that market is trading far away from the rising trend lines. So we can place different rising trend lines, and we can see that market is trading far away. But still, we're building still trying to set up some higher lows. So if the market can set up another tightness here and then re-break 42,400, there is a chance for the 43,000 to be in the test, or even 43,400. From the other side, at this point, there is a chance for also some pullback and retest, let's say, of 40,400 or 39,800. Although I would like to see the breakdown of 41,000 and hold below in order to potentially, let's say, confirm the downside, maybe some deeper pullback. That'll be all for this update, guys. I hope that you did enjoy. Have a good trading day and speak to you from tomorrow morning.